Hello everyone, welcome to the Elliott Wave Forecast.com YouTube channel. My name is Henry Lau and today is Friday, March 29th, 2019 and the time is around 3 a.m. GMT. We are looking at the silver 60 minutes chart and this is for a short-term perspective. Okay, we can see that the precious metals sold off in the last 24 hours and this sell-off here looks to be like an impulse in which you have a 5 waves down here. It looks to be a 5 waves here in the initial leg, and then this one also looks to have an extension right now, and what that means is that this could probably unfold into some sort of 5 waves at least. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, and because we only have 1 and 2 and 3 so far, that means that most likely shorter cycle we still can see further weakness in silver. Okay, so now we need to distinguish this between the short term and the long term. Now of course in the long term, precious metals can be bullish and strong, but shorter cycle doesn't mean that in the shorter cycle they cannot see further weakness. Okay, so if we take a look here, you can see that we label this rally in silver here to 15.6 as a wave B. Okay, and this one is a wave A, and so that means that we are now in the wave C as a 5 waves as a zigzag. If I look at the higher degree right now, we can see right here, this is the higher degree for our chart. This is the P, which is the 15.6, and this is the A here, is over here. We can see clearly this also looks impulsive, and that's why it is a wave A or a wave 1, but I think it is a wave A. Okay, and so we are looking for some sort of an ABC. Now in the normal circumstances, or in a sort of a typical ABC, usually in the C leg will reach 100% on the A leg. Okay, sometimes the C leg can truncate and does not reach the exact 100%, but if it is going to be an ABC, at the least this is going to be 5 waves anyway, right? It is going to be 5 waves, and so far, like we look at earlier, so far it looks only a 3 waves so far, and so no matter what, whether we go to a full 100% or not, it looks like we're gonna have for the downside at least one more leg lower, right? So if you measure the 100% of this AB, it technically can reach as low as this area. Okay, 14.4. And remember, this one is in last year's low, was at 13.8, right? This is 13.8. So it's sort of more or less, if it goes to a full 100%, it can go to this area over here, right? It can retest this low again in silver. Now, what can be the alternate? Now, I think even in the alternate scenario, you can see right here that silver already broke below this previous low, right? So it's kind of it has a sequence of a lower low, okay, from this peak, and so favoring more downside, at least in the shorter cycle. Okay, and we should be looking for, again, like I said, at minimum a 5 waves down that starts from here. May or may not reach the 14.4, doesn't have to, but ideally it does reach there, because that's the equality principle, the C equal to A, but sometimes it can truncate. But at minimum, we got a 5 waves down, we have a new low that breaks below this A, so at minimum we should be able to see a 5 waves down. So if we are going to truncate and not reach 14.4, at minimum this should be a 5 waves down from here, right? So maybe we can see something like this. Alternate will be perhaps something like this, 5 waves like this, and N in the blue box, and then instead of doing, so this is the alternate here. If you notice here in the count, what this means is this is going to be either ending with 1 between 14.7 and 14.85. This is either ending with 1, with 2, 3, 4, 5 to retest this low in 2018, right? That will be a possibility. So this 5 waves here is only part of wave 1. And then another possibility, which is also quite possible, I wouldn't say it's impossible, is that once we finish this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will end the entire C wave. Instead of one of C, that will end the entire C wave. And then from there, silver can starts to rally again, either to new high or at least bouncing to correct this previous pullback, right? So at least can bounce like this. So we have two scenarios in silver, okay, in the larger degree. Either we ideally will have a chance to extend lower to 14.4, retesting 2018 low. In alternate scenario, we truncate somewhere around this area in this 14.6, 14.8, but we need to be able to see a clear 5 waves down if we are going to truncate. So far in the 1 hour, it looks to me that we only have a 3 wave so far, right? So cannot call it completed in any way so far, and that's we should be looking for the downside in the shorter cycle. At least should be looking for the downside, at least to this 14.6, 14.85 most likely. Now going to the even higher degree on the daily, okay, we got a very interesting, let me go to the candlestick here. Okay, so I mean, depends on how we try to draw channel, right? Depends on how we try to draw the channels, but you could make an argument that you know, if you draw it like this at the body of the candle, not the wick, and connecting 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 4 sort of 4 points, then you could argue that we may have already broken above it, retesting 1 time, retesting 2 times. This is now the 3rd time, but again, doesn't necessarily mean we cannot see a little bit more downside. I think, like I said, in the shorter cycle we could see a little bit more downside. Now what I am not sure is if we can go to a full like equal leg retesting this low. Maybe, maybe not, but it looks to me, at least in the shorter cycle, in the 1 hour, looks to be missing one more leg lower, at least it looks like. So I think it's still possible to see a little bit more downside like this. Okay, perhaps another couple of days consolidation before possibly now if this breakout is real, then we should be extending higher again, right? Because this rally, if you look at the weekly point of view, well, you may argue we could call it like a 5 ways up from here. Okay, so that means as far as staying above last year's low, and because it broke above this, you can argue that okay, maybe silver can start to turn lower, turn higher again after that. But so far, definitely shorter cycle is in under pressure right now in the shorter cycle, and could see at least one more leg lower to finish a 5 ways down from here. And again, going to the 4-hour chart, that means that we can see somewhere around this area is a possibility here, somewhere in this 14.9, 14.7 to finish a 5 waves down from here at least. Okay, so I hope that you like this video, and as always, if you want to know the latest update about precious metals or anything else, you can always try our service. We have 14 days free trial, and the link is provided in the description of the video. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week. Okay, have a good weekend, everyone.